Hi, good evening. This is Alex Kokin calling in from Florida, and I want to welcome you all to our weekly BDP webinar. And tonight we have quite a few people, and I just wanted to remind you it's a round table, so you will have some of the BDP team leaders answer all your questions. The way you actually formulate the question, George has been getting some questions via email from all of you. You can also put your questions up right now. If you look at the top right of your screen, you should have the GoToWebinar control panel, and there should be an area that says questions. So just go ahead, type in the question, and we'll try to get to your questions as soon as possible. And one more thing, if we don't get to your questions tonight during the webinar, we will still email you with the answer. So go ahead and just start typing in your questions, and let me introduce you quickly to our panel tonight. We have the BDP founder and team leader, George Ruiz. And George, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Great, we hear you perfectly. And well, most of you already know about George, and George has achieved quite a bit. He's one of Isagenix's multimillionaires. And then we also have Tracy Larsen, who is going to be another one of our panelists. And also quite a few of you know Tracy. And Tracy, are you there? Well, we know that Tracy is there, we just can't hear him. So anyhow, we'll get started right now, and then Tracy should be able to call in and yeah, we cannot. Tracy, can you hear us? Okay, perfect. Well, George, why don't we start now? And I don't know if you want, if you have any announcements or any message for our group.
Well, I just want one of the announcements. I just want to congratulate Robert and Joy Arthur. They just became the number 65 millionaire. It seems that really short time ago we were only about 29.
Wow.
And he and his wife just became the 65. They just found out about 3 hours ago. But anyway, this is not an exclusive anymore because I put it all over Facebook already. But anyway, okay, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's over Facebook, all right. Great. Well, that is tremendous. I can still remember, at the beginning when you were telling me about them, and how rapidly and enthusiastically they were growing, and they came in before we had all these bonuses that we have nowadays.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I know several people that have been benefited by the bonuses, that they're way ahead of where most of us, actually any of us was. Nobody, no Jimmy Smith, no Tony Escobar, nobody has been so ahead in the way to $1 million like some people that right now they're moving in Isagenix, and it's because of the new bonuses. And you're going to see these people really coming up into the $1 million before the 3 years. We are talking about people that have been in Isagenix less than a year, by the way.
Yeah,
it's amazing. That's why, guys, we have to take advantage of these bonuses. The other statistic interesting, almost 80% of the people that are getting the new bonuses are women. That's something to keep in mind, guys. I'm talking to you guys. I hope you are taking notes too. Although I see that most of the people that seem to be in this webinar tonight are women too. We hear you, George. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, and George, on that note, I was just showing my wife Marlena some of the numbers of brand new people, and she pointed out, there's 12 women and 1 guy on that list. So it definitely is.
Well, let's start with the questions, because I'm sure most of the questions now are coming from the guys. How the heck we can do it to beat the women?
Okay. Well,
Well,
okay.
guys, it's no question of beating anybody, actually. I'm just joking about that. Okay.
Okay, good. So actually, we do have our first question here, and basically it is, how do we explain the power of two?
Okay. Who wants to answer?
Oh, I'll answer
Tracy,
that
go
one.
ahead.
Every time I make a phone call, a cold call, if I'm in front of somebody, one of the most powerful parts of any presentation is Jimmy Smith's little presentation on the progression of numbers. And that's really the secret of network marketing. And Isagenix is the only company where that works. I've never seen another plan where that works. And how I'll explain that to somebody is if I'm on the phone with you, I'll say, get out a piece of paper and a pencil. And they'll say, okay. And I'll say, down the left side, write 1 through 12. Wait for a few minutes, and I'll say, now this represents time. It don't matter if it's hours, weeks, months, or years. I don't care. For the sake of the example, we're going to do months. And I say to the person I'm sponsoring, do you think if everything I tell you is right about this company, do you think if I help you over the next 30 days, we could sign up 2 people? Well, every person says, yeah, we could do that. Okay, well, then next to number 1, write 2. Then your job's going to change. You're going to help those 2 find their 2 the next month. You think we can do that? Yeah. And you follow down through the progression of numbers until you get to the bottom and tell them, that's 4,096 is the last number. If you add them all up, it's 8,190 people times 100 points. We get paid 6% commission. That's 49,000 a month. And before you correct or change that at all, let them think about that. And I tell people that's not a theory. People have done that. Okay, but here's the deal. What if half those people don't do what you hope they'll do? Could you handle 24 grand a month? And remember, this is the only company I know of that this example works in. And how many people did you sponsor? They'll think for a minute. You sponsored 2. Of course, it's better to sponsor as many as possible, but this example works with 2 people. That's what makes Isagenix pay plan so amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Tracy, what you say so much right. And guys, just write it on a paper. Don't copy. One of the things I like to do, and I don't know if you guys agree with me, is that instead having pre-printed, because I have seen some distributors that they pre-print the numbers 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. And by the way, there is a webinar before that if you click in the last webinar we have at the bottom, there is something called the numbers work. You can see that webinar. We talk specific about the numbers. But one of the things I like to write them down is to having printed, because it's called the surprise of the face of the people. When you see, well, you bring 2 and they bring 2 is 4 and 8 and 16. And then when you end with the numbers, you have over 8,000 people. And then you ask them, well, how many people you personally sponsor? Only 2. And the people are going to see there the power of the progression on numbers. And that's something that Jimmy wrote in a placemat in a restaurant when he came to Utah. This was after he was talking to me for 10 months. Very powerful. Make sure you use it. Jimmy said you use this all the time. People don't have even to know about the pay plan. The only thing that they have to know is that these numbers work in Isagenix because the way that the pay plan is set up. You don't have to know. By the way, the pay plan is just create consultants, because the more consultants you create, the higher you go, obviously. But if everybody just create consultants, every person that you sponsor and they sponsor, that's what happened. That's the power of 2, or the power of the numbers.
Absolutely, George. I like using the paper too. I don't like a pre-printed form. I like to watch and follow. Then they know if somebody knows how to do this business, they can do this business. If you just show them a paper, they really don't understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I tried both, by the way. I tried to have it pre-printed, and I tried the numbers, writing myself the numbers, and definitely they have much more power. Some people may say, whoa, but I have to learn the numbers. Well, you don't have to at the beginning. Just have a little piece of paper with you that you read the numbers. And the person that's going to be watching maybe said, whoa, if this guy can do it that doesn't even know the numbers, I can do it too. Yeah, I can read it too. You don't have to memorize it from the point on. Actually, I was using that placemat for a little while until it fell apart because it was made of paper.
One thing I do want to add is the way that I cheat. I actually make a copy of what you're seeing on screen right now, and all the numbers are right in there, and that is quite powerful. By the way, we do have another question, and I sent. We're researching it right now, and we'll let the person that asked it know the results soon. And the question was from a guy: how do I become a woman? And I guess it has to do with with the success women are having in isogenics.
Okay, so we have the essential for women. Probably you will not become women, but you get with your women's side, and then you can be really successful.
Okay, and Jay, I mean, that person shall remain nameless.
Oh, you already said the name.
Is that Mr. Colburn you're talking about?
Okay, good.
Well,
so let's see. Let me then just go on to another question here. And this question is, how do I ask for referrals?
Hello? Okay.
George.
Who do I? Yeah. Oh, okay. Referrals. One of the best way, there are several ways, actually, depending on who you are talking to. But when I'm talking to somebody, let's suppose that I'm talking to somebody and I say, who do you know that has been in network marketing before? You're going to be surprised how many people they don't know for sure what network marketing is. But let's assume that the person knows. And the person say, why? What do you mean? Yeah, well, because when I show them what I have, they're going to love you for the rest of your life. And that's really powerful because then it just start helping them. Well, who do you know has been in our way? The companies, bigger companies, American and Herbalife, because most people are familiar with the big ones. But that's one way when you are asking for referrals. Then you can ask something like, who do you know that's a person that is ambitious, that's a go-getter? Doesn't matter if the person is waiting tables or the person is a business person. I'm looking for a person that is go-getter, a mom that wants to make extra money. And then you start writing names. I have to be specific because if you ask just an open question like, who do you know that is interested in this? I tell you 80% of the time, maybe 90%, people are going to say, I don't know anybody that would be interested. But if you ask a direct question, who do you know that is a mom that wants to make extra money? Who do you know that has been in network marketing? Who do you know? By the way, you don't ask all those questions at the same time. You ask one by one and then you wait for the answer. Who do you know that is in real estate? The business is not doing as well anymore. Who do you know has been in insurance? Who do you know that has been a coach or a professor or a teacher? By the way, coach, professors, and teachers are excellent in network marketing. Who do you know that own a small business? It's just be specific on the question that you ask. But it's very important to be specific. And maybe not everybody's going to give you referrals, but other people are going to give you tons. And you're going to be surprised about people that don't join, that they are going to give you referrals. Because I used that technique when I started in network marketing. I was in the U.S. for a very short time, and I had to find ways to get names. And one of my main ones was by asking for referrals.
You know, George, really the story that really impressed me over the years is George, when he first started in isogenics, made a list of names. He's never gotten through that list of names because from each person came 5 or 10 more people. Have you ever got through that list of names yet, George?
The list keeps growing. That's the thing. The list keeps growing also. By the way, I just found Adrianne Carbonell is also on the line. I just got a text from her.
I think, given that women are so much more successful than us guys, we should let Adrianne answer most of these questions. And by the way, Adrianne is one of the fastest growing leaders in the BDP team and in the company. So, Adrianne, are you there?
Hi, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, and welcome. And
Perfect.
Adrianne, right now, I don't know if you when you came in basically, but the question was about referrals, and it was simply, how do I ask for referrals? Do you have any, do you use any system in particular, or do you get referrals also via Facebook? How do you do this?
Oh my gosh, referrals or just meeting with people in general is so super simple if you just listen really good. I think as women, we're a little bit, nurturing, and so it's really easy for us to hear what the underlying thing is when you're hearing conversations, whether it be, at the grocery store, at the nail salon, or especially if you're online. If you're online, they're posting out what they're asking for. They're saying, hey, I need help with this. I need to lose weight, or I want to make more money, or I just lost my job. I mean, they're actually giving you what they need even before you have to ask for it. So you don't even have to ask for the referral. If you get online, it's so funny. It's really interesting. I was working with a partner of mine today, and she came over, and we were, doing some calls and things. And I said, let's just get on Facebook for a second. And so we both logged into Facebook. And it was really interesting because I said, isn't it weird how all you have to do is log on now and your whole business is right there? Like you can just see the people, what they're asking for and what they want. I mean, it's just really simple. So, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or not. I think that was pretty funny what the anonymous person was saying, how can I become a woman? But you know what? Here's how you become a woman. You just listen really good. And, I think it's really important that when you're talking to people and they will tell you everything that they need. It's just be a really good question asker, well, how long have you been at that job? Oh, really? What do you do? How long have you been doing that? Oh my gosh, you look so great. What are you up to? Oh, you're looking for a new weight loss program? Oh my gosh, have you ever tried a cleanse? I mean, it's just really simple. You just want to keep it really short and really realistic. And so I just think it's right now, referrals is at a fingertip. Just like Tracy said, you can write out a whole list of names and never get through them just based on the fact that those people are going to know somebody else. And that's part of your job as a networker is to find out when you know somebody, find out who they know. Because all of a sudden, it's not about you anymore. It's about your new partner and who they know. And so those are your first rules. That is your first line of your business, is to reach out to those people who you've enrolled. So that's what I would say.
Adrianne, you see, that was a answer. Does any one of you want to actually add something to that, or we'll move on to the next question?
No, let's go to the next question. Yeah.
Next question actually is, hold on one second. What is the advantage of the bigger packages?
Well, this is George's hot button right now.
Okay, so
George,
oh my God. Oh, okay. Wait. I think we all want to answer. Are we all fighting for this question? I'm so excited about it.
I think it's George's hot button right now. But
oh,
go
really?
ahead, Adrianne. Go ahead,
okay.
Adrianne.
I love it. I'm so excited about this. It's changing everything for me right now. Not only that, but okay, when you lead with the bigger packages, you set the whole precedence for how you're going to show up in your business and with your team and with who you're working with. And it's so exciting to see people come in and you give them those options, I don't even give the option of the lowest package that we talk about is a 30-day. So it's either the 30-day is that's it. If you want to come and work with me and want me to spend time with you, you're going to have to come in with something that's substantial so that I know you're committed and I know you're committed. And so it just really changes the whole precedence. And it's really neat, when you get those first two people in, they come with the President's Pack. Maybe they do it in their first week. They'll find two others to do the same. And all of a sudden it changes their mind from product to business because you're going to show them how to make back that $370 in their first week. And then the second week, you're going to help those two people that they brought in become consultant, and they'll make back another $308. So in the first 2 weeks, they can make back $678 just by leading with the President's Pack. What better way to create retention in your organization? They say that 90% of people who come in with a 30-day or higher or like a President's Pack, specifically the President's Pack, they say that they will reorder for a minimum of 90 days. Well, when you're coming in as a business builder and your goal, your intention is to make money, you want 90 days of people ordering so you can move up those ranks and get all those rank advancement bonuses, get to executive. Maybe you don't do it in your first month. Maybe you do it in your fourth. But you're going to have all that retention there. You know, on the lower packages, it's the exact opposite. It's like something like 86% of people will not reorder just the following month. So when you come in with a business mindset and you get excited about it, you'll see that when you lead with the President's Pack, you're doing yourself a favor and you're specifically doing them a favor, immediately showing them and, you know, leading them down that path of, hey, I'm going to make money. I'm going to help you make money. And that's the whole point. It's most people, when they come into this, you guys, I'm telling you, if you're doing it right, if you're talking about products and the business, you're telling them there's a way to make money, then they're going to get excited about it, and you immediately want to refer them to that package and that kit. And I just think it's really exciting. I've just been seeing it change the way that we do everything. And, you know, you're going to break consultants faster. And that's the whole point. In Isagenix, you guys, the way the compensation plan is set up, when you really get to understand those numbers, you'll see that the basis of everything is created around becoming a consultant maker, teaching people how to get their due, guiding them along that path. And so, you know, you want to keep it really simple. So, anyways, here we go.
Hi, something that I just wanted to, something that Adrianne was bringing up is the statistics, is that most people that the biggest people staying in the products are the people that come with the President Pack. The second ones are the ones that come with a package that has the product big, with the essentials with product big. Guys, keep that in mind. It's why I prefer always to have a package with a product that has the product big. Of course, the President Pack is the best because it has a lot of the sticky products, what I call. When a person orders that, they fall in love with many of the products, and at the same time, they have product B. That's probably the best system, product B and essentials, the best one to have for people to stay in the product because it's so easy to use and has an incredible story. What is product B? I don't say that the other products are not, but I would build the authorship around product B. And again, in the packages that come when a person comes in, it's the President Pack. And any packages that have the product B, essential product B, has a way much better consistency ordering by distributors. And the other thing, you go quicker. That's important. The people are way more committed to the business when they come with a bigger package. But and this is a fact, by the way. I know many people have many theories. No, I believe that if the person comes with this and that, but the facts are the numbers. Numbers can't lie. Numbers can't lie. Keep that in mind. It's why I'm so excited about President Pack and any package that has product B2. And we have the health and longevity package, and then we have also 5 pillars of health. That's the 65. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say about the packages and why I'm so excited about the bigger one.
Well, I know, George, that the 4 women that have grown so rapidly are also in President's Pack. Isn't that correct?
Pardon me? I couldn't hear you.
The 4 women that are growing so rapidly all started with they're selling President's Packs.
And most of them, as a matter of fact, the fastest growing groups, 2 specific groups, they have something like 70% orders of President's Pack on the people that they sponsor. And they also have an incredible amount of people ordering month after month in products. They said we are going to have the group with the most people ordering every month with less attrition than any other group. And it has to do a lot with that, obviously, because, again, President Pack has that product that's so powerful and many sticky products, and people can have great results. And also people make money faster. That's basically it.
Great. Yeah, the President's Pack, absolutely. You know, especially taking into consideration the double product introductory bonuses. You know, that means that you can count on over $300 a week, every week that you sponsor at least 2 new people with the President's Pack. So, and that's more than a lot of jobs, full-time jobs. We have another question here, and basically, question is, how do you learn to ask good questions without sounding phony? Or actually, there's second part to this question, or maybe a better word is without sounding intimidating?
One of the things that I would answer, check the scripts that we have in the back and on howtogetgoing.com, and then just personalize those scripts to yourself and just practice, and you will never sound funny. Use the closest possible to the wording, because the wording has a reason to be there. And just do it like you're talking to anybody else. A good example. It's very simple. Alex has it right now form, but a good example is when you're talking to somebody, you say something like, "Hey, how are you doing in your job? How long did you say that you have been in your job? Do you like your job?" I mean, that's a normal conversation. And the way to jump into the business, when you ask, "Have you ever thought in having a home business or working from home?" You see, it's a really natural way, and you will never sound funny. Funny is when you are hyped and saying, "We have a product that when you drink it, you are going to be walking on water and growing arms," and that's hype. Or I'm sure you will make $10,000 a month in the next 30 minutes. You have to just stick to the scripts, and the scripts are really simple, just in a regular conversation. That's one of the reasons, by the way, women have a big advantage over guys. We tend to overanalyze everything. Women just talk. They know how to network. We guys, we have to learn a lot from them.
One thing you've always said, George, that I like is you never say, "If I can show you a way." You don't want to say, "I know it all," and you don't know anything. You want to say, "Together we can do this," correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a good way is when you are talking to a person, the phrase, "I know you and I together can make a lot of money," or "I know you and I together can make a fortune." You always introduce the person, because you have to make the person feel comfortable with when you are talking to them. That's why hype doesn't work. Keep that in mind. Hype doesn't work.
Well,
Almost every time
here's the thing. If you have to ask yourself if you're going to sound phony or not, like, what? No, you wouldn't do that. Like, the thing is like, when you're actually communicating and talking with somebody, it's because you care about them. You're interested in what they're interested in. You have a solution for it. There's no way to sound phony. And that's going to be a huge hang-up. I mean, seriously, if you think that, phony is a part of this job, then that's a barrier you need to get through, because phony has nothing to do with any of this. So if that's what you're worried about, just put it behind you. Just move forward and say, "Okay, I'm not going to sound phony because I have this person's best interest at heart." And I think that's what you need to focus on. Okay, so don't worry about thinking that you're going to sound phony when you're actually really caring for somebody else. You're caring about their future, about what it is that they're interested in, whether it's weight loss, products, or both. So hopefully it's both. For most people it is. So, just by learning those scripts, I'm a pretty firm believer that, like, there's no way that those scripts can sound phony when you really are just communicating with somebody about what it is that they need. So that's my whole take on the thing.
I think Adrianne hit the nail on the head also. If you think you're sounding phony, you don't have a good enough testimony of this business or this product, and so you better do some soul searching and really look at the statistics of our business and our products and get a real firm testimony, because if you really believe in these products and this business, you can't sound phony.
That's actually, remember, our job is to actually help people achieve their goals, not our goals. And when you're helping people achieve their goals, then you avoid sounding phony.
It's something very important that you say that. Sorry, I cut you off because I got really excited. Every time I'm going to talk to a person, I always think how Isogenics can benefit that person financially and also health-wise. When you have that, when you think about how that person is going to be benefit, you're going to be talking from your heart. Even when you are in a cold prospect position, for example, you are in a restaurant and you are going to talk to somebody, if you really know that this is going to help other people to increase their income and to have better health, wow, you're never going to sound funny. And that's why one of the exercises, and I learned this from Bob Proctor several years ago, is write down how, when you're going to talk to somebody, how isogenic in this case is gonna be benefit that person financially and also health-wise. And you're gonna and also write something generic because again, many times you are gonna be presented with some cold market situation where you are gonna meet somebody and you are gonna know how this can help this person to this business to the other person. And by the way, asking questions to get into conversation. But this is so important is to remember how, if you are thinking how you are going to make money of that person, well, you made some fun, for real.
Great. We are now at the top of the hour, and we should start wrapping up. So remember, any questions that we don't get... Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, before you wrap up, I just want to say, I know all of us had really strong points on that last question, and I'll tell you why. It's because it was a very good question, okay? I just want to reiterate that back. I know we were kind of like, hey, this is the way it is, and you need to go out, and blah, blah, blah. And I really we said that to help improve whoever asked that question, because seriously, it's so exciting when somebody asks a question like that, because they're learning about how they're showing up in their business, but there's a gap there, right? So they're learning where they really want to be. And so that's where you really want to be, is in that loving zone. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you for that question.
Sure. Yeah, it definitely was a great question. And I just wanted to let everybody know that if we don't get to your question within the next few minutes, we'll continue on for about another 5-10 minutes. But if we don't get to your question, then we will email you the answer or call you with the answer. So feel free now to just type in your question. At the top right of your screen, you should see the GoToWebinar control panel. Go to the section that says questions and type in just as if it was a chat box. So if you want to get the answer via email, you might as well just type in your email right next to a question. So let's go on to the next question. And somebody here asks, how can Isogenics pay out without running out of money? And, I guess it has to do... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to answer because they are very smart.
Actually.
They are very smart. The pay plan is an amazing way. You see, we've been around for 10 years, and it's funny that people are still asking the question. Meanwhile, the company is expanding, creating new products, creating new bonuses. Well, unless they are here just to lose money, and they're kind of, I don't know, crazy. But the way that this pay plan is really smart, the way that set it up. The reason we create cycles, it is interesting, is because two people don't cycle at the same time. Let me prove that to you. Let's suppose that I have you under me. You are in one leg. Suddenly you hit, in order to get a cycle, you hit 900 points. Cool. Now, I have 900 points in one leg, but I don't have anybody on the other side yet. You see? You get married. I'm not cycling at the same time unless I get somebody on the other side. In other words, the company never is going to run out of money. And it's why we have some limits. For example, I don't know if you noticed that the maximum that you can earn in a position is $13,500 dollars. Obviously, there are some limits and some safeguards in different places to protect the pay planning, to protect, obviously, the company. But the cool thing, when people say, well, how can they pay 6% all the way to infinity? Because they are really smart. You see, 10 years, the company keep growing, keep investing. Instead of being analytical, by the way, only a statistician or a software guy or something like that could understand perfectly why it works. I understand it, obviously, because I was sitting with this guy in the software and IT department something like 7 years ago, and I understood why it's impossible for them to run out of money. And if you look at the pay plan again, there are always certain protections at different levels, like the limit of how much money we can earn per cycle per year. Per week, that's $13,500. That's 250 cycles a week. That's the maximum that we can do. We have also the point value. As you see, the company, you see a product that, for example, $40, and we have $30, 30 points. We get paid on the 30 points, not on the other 10. all these are protections that the company has all over the place to make sure they're not going to run out of money. Yeah, go ahead.
George, one of the things I think that has a big part in that, how much percent of the people involved with isogenics are product users only?
Oh, okay, that's something. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Something like that, statistics in network marketing always talk about what percent of people buy product when the product is good and what percent actually sponsoring. And isogenics, if you look at the numbers between June 2010 and July 2011, you will find out that 84% of the people are product users. Think about that. 84% of the people don't participate in the coalitions. These are 84% of the people that probably are not, probably not. None of them are consultants. None of them are a sponsor anybody. These are people that are specific using the product. That 84% of volume that's coming there, guess what? That's paying the 16%, that's 16% of the people that are in isogenics building the business. Now, some people may say, what if 84% of the people suddenly become a business builder? Well, that never is going to happen because it's human nature. And even if we increase 10% more, it's still, or 20% more, still, we have a great majority of people consuming the products. And that's another, and probably that's the biggest safety. Thank you for reminding me that the biggest safety why in isogenics will never run out of money. And that's why they've been adding also, one more thing. They've been adding bonuses for one simple reason. The more the pay plan matures, the more that strong base of customers is growing. And that's why they are able to add many bonuses if they're taking money from the pay plan. That's another reason we see more bonuses in the company right now.
Thanks, George. Alex, let's see if we can get through at least one more question.
Yeah, actually, this is a follow-up on the question on sounding phony or actually sounding sincere. And the person wanted a clarification. She said that she was talking about when you're asking people about themselves, how not to sound funny. Not about the business, but when you're having a conversation with themselves. So, about themselves. And I guess it might have something to do, it's like when you're asking about their family, about their goals and so on.
Yeah, I agree. Well, again, if you're talking from your heart, you're not going to sound funny because you normally tell to a person, hey, how are your kids? How's your job? And by the way, it's funny because many times we ask these questions automatically because we are not even thinking in the answer. But now, if you have in advance thinking about how ICDs can help them, those questions are going to sound always good. Funny, again, is when you are thinking, well, you are asking the question, how can I get this person the business and I can make money? The person comes with a president pack and I can get another person with a president pack. I'm going to make $160 for each one. That's $320. If we're thinking that way, whoa, no. But we are just thinking from our heart how we can help the person. Never is going to come funny, even if we are talking about them. If we are asking, how's your family? How's the weather? I mean, things that normally we do. If we do it normally, because if you are not acting here, you're being yourself. That's simple.
Okay, great. Well, I hope that answers the question. And if not, please email us. Either George or Adrian or Tracy or myself, and we'll try to get that. Let's try to get. I'm sorry, somebody.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, one more. And actually, somebody's asking, what makes the $1 billion project different? The BDP team different?
Well, several things. First of all, the name, and I'm not saying because of the name. It's just because we are thinking big. We are not talking about the $1 billion project. And for some people that don't understand what we meant by the $1 billion project, we are not talking about the company hitting $1 billion in sales. We are talking about our group hitting $1 billion in sales. And I know there are different people from other groups here too. And obviously, when we say $1 billion, we invite everybody to work with us too, in the sense that even if you are in different groups, we are going to work with you because it's your group, even if it's not with us, you get to $1 billion in your group too. Cool. We make the company much more stronger. But that's what basically the BDP means. And also because we are giving different incentives in our group, different contests, etc., that we obviously are not going to discuss right now because we take forever. But we have different supports, like the different websites that we have to support people not only on the training part, but also on the prospecting side. Something that makes us different with some groups, although I have to say that in Isogenics, we find that a lot, is that we are really open also. Not like you see in other companies, but this is that people are really, they have the secrets of the world and they don't want to share with anybody. The reason is because the secrets to be successful, they are not secrets. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. And we have obviously great leaders in our group, and people that are willing to not only to work with people that are in our own teams, but also people that are in other teams. And I think that's one of the reasons, that's one of the things that we want to make sure that people understand when they come into the business, that we all work together. Working together, we're going to create a multi-billion-dollar company. A multi-billion means that they are going to be paying multi-billion commissions out there.
Well, I think I'd add to that. I've said this many times on the webinars, but I mean, what George has been talking about, speaking from the heart, we have a leader of the BDP that has a heart, that cares about people. And I know I've been in network marketing a long time, and a lot of these leaders are very closed. They don't talk to you. You have to be, there's a lot of arrogance in network marketing. That because it travels from the top down. In this group with George as the leader, we don't have that arrogance. And that's a big part of I think, what the question was, even of speaking from the heart, caring about people, not looking at how much money that person's going to make off of you. You're going to make off of them, but how you're going to help them. The second big thing is another leader that we have, and that's Alex Kokin. This webinar is a phenomenal tool, and he does a fantastic job with it. The How to Get Going page, I would dare anybody to find a better resource in Isogenics than what we have right here in the How to Get Going page, and that's thanks to Alex. There's just a whole lot of things that we have as a team that's really a lot of benefit for people. A person can start today, get on the How to Get Going, and be making money tomorrow. If you never talk to them again, just send them to this page. So thanks to those two leaders especially.
Cool. I think we can answer one more question, and then we just turn off the light.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. Let me just try to get something here. And
well, looking
okay.
I said, guys, welcome to everybody that's in the call. I couldn't name everybody, but we have too many people. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. And welcome to, we have one of the millionaires on the call. We have Barbara Barton. Welcome, Barbara. She's from here, from Utah. But anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, there's one question in here that's sort of interesting to me also, and and that was when I came into network marketing, I wanted to find somebody that would tell me, what my job is going to be, what my job description sort of. And although I was in different companies beforehand, when I met George finally, and George actually gave me step by step. And here in Isogenics, my opinion and the question is, what is my job description in Isogenics? And my answer to that, if you guys don't mind me answering, it is actually found very simply in this graphic here I'm going to put on the screen. And let me just see if I can get this quickly here. And the job description is basically, you need to become a consultant on AutoShip, and that's job number 1. Being a consultant on AutoShip. Nothing happens business-wise until you're a consultant. Nothing happens business-wise significantly until many people on your team are consultants. So that to me is the easiest way to say what the job description is. You guys want to add something to that, or?
Well, one time I was thinking, because we have a product that destroyed the free radicals, I say, I kill free radicals for fun and profit, but I think that's not right. No, but I agree. We are actually non-consultant, but I think our job descriptions, we are just giving the person the chance to change their life for the better. We are life consultants, lifestyle consultants. I don't like the word cleansing consultants, and I know some people on the call probably they're going to start saying, what? I like lifestyles, because we are changing the way that the person lives. We are giving the possibility then to be, and lifestyle, by the way, include everything, include health, include income. The reason I don't like personally, in my opinion, to use myself cleansing is because I'm not a cleansing coach. I'm not. I'm a lifestyle. I know a health professional. I know things like that. But I can guide people to the best product in the planet that can help them in the health part, and I can help people to guide it to the best business plan in the planet. That's why we are a lifestyle consultant. It's like a financial consultant. Financial consultant, a good one, because most of them sadly are not the best, but a good one. And the reason, by the way, the difference between a good one and a bad one, if you are talking to a financial consultant that is broke, that's not a good one. But anyway, the best way is like the financial consultant that is directing people to the best investments. We are directing the person to something that we are connected, that's incredible, bigger than us. It's a tremendous mission to create better health and better lifestyle for everybody. That's why I like to call myself a lifestyle consultant. Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
What I come up with when I hear that question is, years ago I heard somebody give the example. If I came to you and I said, if you'll talk to 2 people a day, 5 days a week, every single week for 1 year, I'll pay you $1 million for the rest of your life. Would you say yes or would you say no? Put that way, people say, of course, absolutely. But if you miss 1 day, I'm not going to pay you anything. People would say yes. And so if you was coming to me and I was your boss, my job description to you would be, introduce this company to 2 people a day, 5 days a week, and that's your job. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I like that, by the way. 2 people a day, keep the bill collector away.
Actually, that is a great input. And just as you see, there's now 65 millionaires in Isogenics, and it's very possible that each one of them had a slightly different approach, but the whole overall picture is the same. You need to contact people to create curiosity. You need to present using the tools to create that desire, and then you need to follow up and give them the solution. And I want to thank our panel tonight. I want to thank each one of you who attended this webinar, for your questions, for the time, and for keeping on referring your team members to the webinar. Remember, it's every Monday evening at 9:30 Eastern Time in the evening. So let's start wrapping this up. And any final messages or comments?
Well, one comment is, guys, the last part was very important. Our job description. Think about that. Very important. And what you learned today, make sure you share this webinar with other people, because we are going to be recording it. And the other thing is, and again, we have 65 millionaires. And I know some people are saying, well, that would be nice. Don't disqualify yourself before you start. And that's what many people do. They think that they don't have what it takes because they compare with another person. I tell you one thing, 65 millionaires. I don't know all of them because some of them are new and I have never met them, but I know most of them. And I can tell you, every millionaire is different. Every person has their own story, but every person was a person like you and I. I mean, before I was a millionaire, how many times I was sitting back in the room thinking, one day I would like to be like that. When you start believing that you can do it because you are different, That's that's your ticket to be a millionaire, because you are different. That's what is going to get you there. And it's not because you are the same. We are not the same. If everybody would be the same, this would be boring. I encourage you guys, when you go to, for those of you that have never been in the convention, to go there and start checking and talking to other millionaires, and you will realize that all of them are like you. As a matter of fact, sometimes you are going to say, "Boy, if that guy doesn't speak English, I can do it too." Or if that person can do it, I can do it too. Because you are going to realize that you have incredible gifts. And I tell you one thing, everybody that's on the call, on the webinar, has gifts to become a millionaire. And it's the same, well, that would be nice, say something like, I'm going for it. I can do this. I'm just going to follow the simple system. But you're seeing in the screen, contacting people every day, presenting and following up every day. When I do that, the results are going to happen. And that's the path.
Thank you, George. Ditto.
Great. Thank you, everyone. And, well, have a great evening, and we'll see you. By the way, this is going to be posted tomorrow evening at the howtogetgoing.com site. So just check under the new posts or the blog or in the webinar archives. So good night, everyone, and see you next week.
See you. Good night.